Jim Knuckles to the start-finish line, please. Jim Knuckles to the start-finish line. We've got Marvin Smith, Larry Pennington, and Jerry Pennington, Carl Smith, Don Gregory Sr., and Vern Schrock.
Tonight, ladies and gentlemen, 6 of the guys that graced our presence and put on some wonderful races here at Columbus Motor Speedway. Oh, let's see, ranging from the 30s? Was that you, Carl? Well, that was Larry. Up until, I don't know, I guess Marvin probably, no, I'm not sure who raced here most recently, but all of them standing back here. Why don't you guys come on up this way so we can talk to you? Would you do that, please? Here we go. Anyhow, these gentlemen all raced at various points in time throughout their career. Larry, your beginnings here were in what, the super modified class or what?
Yeah, about 59, 60 in that area. Someplace
in there. And then you made the transition from those cars to the late model cars there in the mid-60s. Is that true?
That's right, yeah.
And the last year that you raced here would have been?
76.
Is that right? And your fondest memory of a race that you competed in here at Columbus Motor Speedway would be?
I beat Bob Seneca here in the Labor Day Championship.
I'm sure that was quite a chore. Okay. Anyhow, that's Larry Pennington, ladies and gentlemen. He'll be starting on the pole, as a matter of fact, this evening. And his brother, Jerry Pennington, is about to come over. We kind of got a brother sandwich going here tonight. We'll talk a little bit more about that. Jerry, you, what's this say? Bad Jaw Pennington. What's that all about?
Well, you remember when I went over the wall and lit on the railroad track, and I was driving for Don Camfield, and I broke my jaw. And from then on, I've been known as Bad Jaw.
I see. It had nothing to do with your antics coming onto the racetrack or any of that stuff a few years ago. You didn't want me to remind you about that, did you? But I did it here in front of just a few people, okay?
Yeah, all right. I'm doing fine.
All right. And I understand you were out the other evening and you got a couple hot laps in. Is that true or is that false?
That was Gregory. That wasn't me, no.
Oh, I see. That was Don. And your fondest memory, I'm sure, wasn't landing on those railroad tracks. What would it have been?
My fondest memory was being able to walk out of the hospital after I landed back there.
I can understand that. Okay. And I think starting third tonight is Vern. Jerry's going to start second, and Vern Schrock is going to start in the third hole. Vern, maybe I should let my dad run this interview. What do you think? Yeah. Anyhow, Vern had a kind of what I remember as a kid was a cigar always hanging out of his mouth, and that doesn't look like that's changed too awful much.
No, I pretty much do that yet.
I see. And you ran mostly late model cars here. Is that pretty much the case?
Well, I started in a Sportsman, then I went to late model.
I see. And your fondest memory of a race here at Columbus Motor Speedway would be?
Well, I remember losing the left rear wheel, and Dick Dunleavy Sr. run over it and landed out on the railroad track.
And that was your fondest memory, huh?
I felt bad for him.
You know, Dick was supposed to be here tonight and had made a commitment to be here, and then all of a sudden he decided he was in some Malibu Grand Prix tournament in Dayton and couldn't make it. He said something about he's afraid he'd run over your left rear tire again. You believe that?
Yeah, I can believe that.
Okay. That's Vern Schrock, ladies and gentlemen. He'll start third. Starting in fourth position tonight will be the gentleman that probably won in the middle 60s, the early 70s, as many races as any human being could possibly have won here at Columbus Motor Speedway, Mr. Don Gregory. Sounds like we got a few people that remember out there. What do you think?
Well, I can remember some of the later years I was here, I was getting a lot of booze, but tonight it isn't quite that way.
Well, we sure appreciate you being here. And what, I understand you were out here the other night running some hot laps. Did you get going pretty well?
Well, I came down Wednesday night and I ran a few laps, but nothing like the car's capable of, I'll put it that way.
So you'll wait and show us that in the race tonight. Is that the case?
Well, hopefully I can do a little bit better than what I had been practicing.
Okay. And your fondest memory, I'm sure you probably have a lot of them from racing here at the Speedway, but the one that probably stands out in your mind, if you can pick one, would be?
Well, I don't think I could pick one. I've been associated with you people so long down here, and my car owner and all of our sponsors. That we just had a lot of wonderful times here, just racing with a good bunch of people.
Well, thank you. We appreciate you being here. I'm sure my dad's glad you folks are all here tonight, too. Okay, starting fifth is the man who I really got to know this guy pretty well over at when he was taking some classes at DeVry Institute of Technology, and about that time he was down here racing, and people started calling me Jerry Smith. Do you believe that?
Well, I think you probably had it coming.
and you know, the other thing I remember about you is that every time I went to run a midget race someplace and you was there in a stock car, if I touched anybody's back bumper, you was on me like stink on poop. Do you remember that?
Yeah, I did.
Well, anyhow, wait a minute. He's going to get me now. You're on.
Sometimes you'd make a lap after the wreck just to get them, you know.
Well, you know, I had a good teacher, Carl. You remember that?
Yeah, I remember that.
Okay. And what would you say one of your fonder memories would be of racing that you did or around the Columbus Motor Speedway?
Well, probably the night Allison was here and we won that race. That's probably about as good a memory as any. And then last year coming back and seeing Cushman and some of the older gentlemen, that was real nice.
Well, we appreciate you being here. That's Carl Smith, ladies and gentlemen.
Thank you.
And bringing up the tail is going to be the man that apparently practiced this at Flat Rock, Michigan earlier this year. Did they run that race?
Yeah, we ran last Saturday.
And how did that go?
Yeah, I snuck in and won it.
You did? Did they want you to go ahead and start the regular feature race then or not?
Well, I told them I really didn't want to. I was retired.
Yeah, I understand. I'm sure you had a lot of fond memories. I know you ran for Jim Coyle down here for a long time, and you ran the Fort Laramie car down here for a long time, very successfully. What were some of your more favorite or your fondest memory that you had of racing here at the Speedway?
Well, I'm a lot like Gregory there, what he said. You know, I've been associated with you for several years, and back in the mid-'70s, you know, we were winning quite a bit, and I'd have to say the mid-'70s was probably, you know, anytime you win, that's your fondest memories. But we've had a lot of good years, a lot of good times around here, and we really enjoy it.
Well, we appreciate you being here. I'm going to ask my dad one question here real quick. He doesn't talk on this microphone very often, so I'm going to get him to turn around here for a minute. What are your fondest memories of these six guys, or what do you remember when you think back? I know you probably are a lot closer to the situation than I am. What do you think?
Well, basically, it's just my association with them most of the time was back in the pits where I got to know them and they got to know me. I knew them from the day they started till the day they quit.
Well, we appreciate you putting these races on for us here very much. Thank you. Folks, we'll get on with the program now and see if we can't get things under control. These guys will be out running a hot lap session right at the end of intermission, and then their race of legends will be run between the two late model features later on this evening. So we will have them back out here to run their hot lap session and their race here in just a little bit. Thank you very much.
So again, Larry Pennington, Columbus locations, along with Central Ohio Engines. Anything from street to race engines, they do full installations, all kinds of engine work, Central Ohio Engine Rebuilders. Here's the lineup for the Limited Sportsman Trophy Dash. On the pole in car number 12, it's Zero Hill. Don Hill Jr. in 12. Alongside in car number 9, that's Jim Cruz. The second row, second fast time, Don Gregory Jr. in car number 2. And on the tail, your fast qualifier, his 7th such fast qualifying attempt of 1992, Randy Swore. Again, these cars and drivers racing for 4 laps, your Limited Sportsman Trophy Dash. Hill, Jim Cruz, Don Gregory Jr., and Randy Sward. Thanks for coming out to join us, folks. We hope you enjoy your evening of NASCAR Winston Racing Series action. Zero Hill sideways off the first turn. Jim Cruz slips in ahead of him through turn 2. Cruz your leader, Hill is second. Don Gregory is third. Jim Cruz with 2 Trophy Dash victories to his credit so far. He leads this one. Takes the halfway signal that time by. Now Zero Hill into the back of Jim Cruz off the second turn. Hill and Gregory side by side for second down backstretch. White flag this time for Jim Cruz. Gregory moves up to challenge Cruz on the outside. They'll race down the backstretch. This is the last lap. Cruz into the infield in turn 3, it'll close. Goodness gracious, that was close. Well, folks, doesn't happen very often. We're going to call that one a dead heat. Too close to call. Jim Cruz and Don Gregory Jr. We'll pay them both for first place because it was too close to call. Trying to remember. On the pole in car 07 is Ron Reese. Ron Reese in 07, alongside in number 37, George Glick. The second row in car number 3, it's Mike Brown. And alongside of Mike in that row, car number 6, Dave Stacy. And the third row. In 27, it's Jerry Buck. And outside of Buck in number 72, Craig Parker. The next row in 53, Russ Bobb from Beaver Creek, Ohio, and Columbus, Ohio driver Jim Kidd in car 25. Finally, on the last row, car number 77, Phil Gussler, and number 1, Gary Ferguson. 8 laps for the first limited sportsman heat race. Flag is car 77, Phil Gussler, spins coming off the 4th turn. It's sportsman first heat race. Ron Reese in 07. Reese in 07. George Glick in 37. Dave Stacy now in 6 is in number 6, running 3rd. They'll complete lap number 2 this time around. Still Ron Reese out front. George Glick spins down in turn number 2. Buck is second. Halfway this time by. 4 laps complete. Still Parker out front. Jerry Buck trying to hang on. Parker has 3 heat wins to his credit already. He's looking for number 4 this evening. Now Russ Bob makes his way around into second. Russ Bob is second in car 53. Mike Brown off the pace in car number 3. White flag for Craig Parker. And the winner in car 72. Craig Parker. Jerry Buck comes across second. Third is Russ Bob. Fourth, Jim Kidd. And fifth, Dave Stacy. Now for heat race number 2 in the limited sportsman division. Starting on the pole in car number 23. That's Greg Blackburn. Outside in 02, Charlie Osborne. Second row, Doug Wright in 41 and car 91. Scott Drake. Then comes Joe Hill and Mike Rush. Sam Heckman and Bob Justice. Ken Sward, and that other guy, Robbie Dean. 8 laps for the second limited sportsman heat race. Greg Blackburn out front. Scott Drake now trying to move underneath Charlie Osborne for that second position. They'll complete lap number 2 this time around. Now Drake is second. He pulls up on the back bumper of car 23 down the backstretch. Osborne third. Pulls out to a bit of an advantage over Scott Drake. Third in 02 is still Charlie Osborne. White flag this time around. Greg Blackburn, Scott Drake, Charlie Osborne. Checking on a driver on 41. We believe that's Jerry Wright instead of Doug, but we'll let you know for sure. The winner in car 23 will be Greg Blackburn. Second is Scott Drake. Third, Charlie Osborne. Craig Blackburn, the winner. Car 23. 2 or 3 times last year. This is second appearance so far this year from Canton, Ohio, John Klein. Klein in car 30. Alongside in car number 2 from Darbydale, Ohio, a 5-time track champion, the Big Bird, Robbie Dean. In the second row, your first and second place runners in the track point standings. On the inside in car 92, Donnie Renner, your point leader, and your second place man in the point standings, defending track champion car 21, John Vallow, with fast time tonight. 4 laps to go. Klein out that early lead in car number 30. Driving off in a big way. Renner now second. John Vallow is third in car 21. John Klein out front. Now Vallow around Renner. He'll set his sights on the leader, John Klein. White flag this time. Now Klein sideways into fourth, third, John Vallow underneath. Your winner from Miamisburg, Ohio, John Vallow. John Klein comes home second. Third is Donnie Renner. And fourth, Robbie Dean. So Vallow out with the Port City race car for the first time in several weeks. And they got that car really trucking. 14 is Gary Townsend. The second row in 07, that's Lou Westercam. Beside him in 79, Cal Bush. In the third row, Ron Yount in car number 2 and Tommy Simpson in 82. Then we've got 39, Randy Maynard Jr. 54 is Dave Jackson. Car number 41, John Sedlacek, and 62, Wilbur Roby. 10 laps for the first late model heat race. Kevin Miller and Gary Townsend lead the field around. 10 laps. Gary Townsend the leader in car 14. Kevin Miller is second. Cal Bush runs third. Now Ron Yount is fourth. Townsend out front in car 14. Townsend's a second generation driver. Ron Yount is second. Now Randy Maynard and Cal Bush get together on the back. It's still Gary Townsend out front. Now John Sedlacek and Ron Yount going at it for that second spot. Ron Yount, the new leader in car number 2. John Sedlacek is second. Third in car 54. That's Dave Jackson. Dave Jackson at 54. 4 laps complete this time around. Jackson tries to move on the outside of Sedlacek. Halfway this time around. Now Jackson, Dave Jackson second. He'll try Ron Yount next. And the new leader is Dave Jackson. Second now is Ron Yount. Sedlacek and Tommy Simpson, third and fourth in this race. On all championship weekends. Dave Jackson the leader, 2 laps to go. Ron Yount is second, third John Sedlacek. White flag this time around. The winner from Loveland, Ohio, Dave Jackson. Dave Jackson, the winner. This day. And Gary Brenner in 28. Second row, car number 12 is Denny Dean, and 04 Gene Harsh. Then comes Terry Humphrey and Mike Rush in third row. They're followed by John Hellman and Larry Harris from Columbus in 47. Finally, Bobby Fye in 51 and Skip Thornton in 86. 10 laps. Make a 3-wide sandwich down a backstretch, and they come through it okay. Humphrey, the new leader in car number 1. Denny Dean is second in 12. Larry Harris in 7. He runs third. Complete. Terry Humphrey way out front. Denny Dean second. Gene Harsh and Mike Rush going at it for that third spot. Rush is third in car 98. A white flag this time for Terry Humphrey. Denny Dean still second. Mike Rush third. Now a good race for fourth between Bobby Fye and Gene Harsh. The winner with his fourth heat race of 1992, Terry Humphrey. Second will be Denny Dean. Third is Mike Rush. Fourth, Gene Harsh, and fifth, Bobby Fye. On the pole, that's Brad Malkett from Stroudsburg, Ohio, and alongside in 7, Bobby Edwards. The second row in car 59 is Burgess White. And then comes car number 5, Dick Dunleavy Jr. Inside of row 3 in car 26, Bill Cantley. And beside him in 61, Mike Ward. Then comes Lonnie Rush in car number 83. Danny Eves in car 9. And car number 81, Gary Williams. Gary Williams in car 81. Brad Malkett and Bobby Edwards, Burgess White, Dick Dunleavy, Bill Cantley, Mike Ward, Danny Eves, Lonnie Rush, and Gary Williams on the tail. Edwards is the leader. Still Bobby Edwards out front. Dick Dunleavy Jr. is second. Bill Cantley third. Tries to make it around the outside of Bobby Edwards. He can't make it stick on the backstretch. He'll be halfway this time. A good race for that top spot. Now Dunleavy. Now Dunleavy outside of Edwards. And the new leader is Dick Dunleavy, but here comes Bill Cantley on the inside of him. out front. He'll get the white flag this time by. Bill Cantley, the leader. The winner in car 26, Bill Cantley. Dick Dunleavy is second. Dick Dunleavy Jr. finishes second. Third is Bobby Edwards. And fourth, Brad Malkins. Gary Carter to the base of the tower, please. Gary Carter, meet the gentleman at the base of the tower. The Street Stock Trophy Dash. On the pole in car 35, Tom Idle, your fourth fast qualifier. Outside in 12, that's Donald Parsons. The second row in car 44, your current point leader in this division, Joe DeFelice. And alongside in 66, Paul Baker Jr. DeFelice is second in car 44. Third in car number 12 is Donald Parsons. They'll get the cross flags halfway the next time around. White flag for Idle this time by. DeFelice still second. With his first Trophy Dash win of 1992, Tom Idle. Joe DeFelice is second. Third, Donald Parsons. And in fourth, Paul Baker Jr. Tom Idle in car 35. Again, that is first. First time out, Mike Knapp. It's K-N-A-P-P. Mark Knapp, sorry about that, in 22. Outside in number 10, that's Marion Harper. The second row in 53. The driver is Taylor, the first name Randy Taylor in 53. Outside in car number 9, that's Kenny Thomas. Then comes Sandy Butcher in 51. Roy Harding in 74. Car number 01 is Lonnie Spires, and he's in that row along with Jim McCauley. Then comes Victor Matheson in 39 and Rick Honecker in 72. The Street Stock first heat race, 8 racing laps. Here we go. Jim McCauley on the move in car 33 all the way from 10th starting spot. He'll lead the first lap. Second is Marion Harper in car number 10. Running third is car number 9. I forget his name. Car number 9, Kenny Thomas, is now third. Second is Vic Matheson in 39. Rick Honecker in 72, now trying to work his way underneath Kenny Thomas. And Honecker takes third from Thomas. Meantime, the leader is Jim McCauley. Not for long, though, as Victor Matheson tries to work on the outside of McCauley down the backstretch. It's McCauley on the inside, Matheson on the outside, halfway. And McCauley fights him off. Now Matheson to the inside of Jim McCauley down the backstretch. A sneak attack on the inside. Matheson with a bit of an advantage in turn 1, but McCauley fends him off. Rick Honecker with a good view of that battle for the lead. Sandy Butcher is fourth in car 51. Matheson now slowing in car 39. Right there. White flag for Jim McCauley. Victor Matheson now trying to fend off the advances of Rick Honecker. And the winner in car 33 will be Jim McCauley. Finishing second, Victor Matheson. Third goes to Rick Honecker. And fourth, Sandy Butcher. Let's see, Bruce Holmes is in 88, and 14 is Jim New. Then comes Brian New in 41, Bo Davis 18 in this event, the second street stock heat race. That's followed by Fred Hartzell and Bubba Parsons, Herb Pennington and Steve Tuttle in the fourth row, and rounding out this fine field, Bill Wellman and Jamie Hunt. 8 laps to go. The leader is Bruce Holmes in car number 88. Second is Brian New. Third, Fred Hartzell. Halfway signal this time by the start-finish line. Bruce Holmes, your leader. Holmes has one heat win so far this season, looking for number 2. Herb Pennington slides into that third spot. And Bubba Parsons follows him. Parsons now fourth. Your leader, Bruce Holmes. Second is Brian New. White flag this time for Bruce Holmes. Brian New runs second. Third, Herb Pennington. Fourth is Bubba Parsons. Now Parsons will challenge Pennington for that third spot in turns 3 and 4. But your winner way out front, Bruce Holmes. Brian New finishes second. Pennington comes across third. And finishing fourth, Bubba Parsons. So Bruce Holmes with his second heat race victory of the 1992 racing season. Let's see, Mike Taylor starts on the pole. And outside of him in 30, that's Bill Hundley. Then comes 27, Dave Dysinger, and 00, Ron Mangus. Next up in 77, that is Don Townsend Jr. and 13, Dale Brown. Then we've got 24, Mike Hamilton. 70, Heavy Hill. 5, Tim Rowenbeck. And car number 3, Butch McAllister. Close my eyes. Did they make it? I guess they did. The leader is car 23, Mike Taylor. Second, Dave Dysinger. Now Dysinger to the outside of Mike Taylor for that top spot. Heavy Hill tries to move inside of Mike Taylor. Can't make it stay on the backstretch. He'll try again on the front stretch. Halfway. 4 laps down. And now Heavy Hill, your leader. Mike Taylor second. Mike Hamilton in 24 runs third. Some wild action in the late, or make that street stock third heat race. Heavy Hill the leader. Mike Hamilton in 24, putting some heavy pressure on him. They'll get the white flag this time around. Now the race for third, a hot one between Don Townsend and Dave Dysinger. Townsend squeezes inside of Mike Hamilton, or tries to anyway. The winner in car 70 will be Heavy Hill. Mike Hamilton finishes second. Third goes to Don Townsend Jr. And fourth, Dave Dysinger. So the late model B main coming your way right now. Those cars moving onto the track right now.
Yes.
Race. The first 4 cars transfer. First 4 finishers transfer to the first 30 lapper. The first row is Skip Thornton and Gene Harsh. The second row, Denny Dean and Gary Brenner. In the third row, it's Larry Harris and Randy Maynard Jr. Then Dave Jackson and John Sedlacek in the fourth row. Then we've got Ron Yount and Lou Westerkamp, Kevin Miller, and Gary Townsend rounding out the field. 10 laps. Your first 4 cars transfer to the main event. Skip Thornton out front. Gene Harsh is second. Denny Dean third. In the record books. Out front is Skip Thornton. Gene Harsh is second. Your fourth and final transfer car at this point is Gary Brenner. Halfway, 5 laps now complete. It's Skip Thornton, Gene Harsh, Denny Dean, and Gary Brenner. Running 5th is Randy Maynard Jr., 6th and 54, Dave Jackson. Two cars come together causing a race stoppage, we put both of those cars on the tail. So both Randy Maynard Jr. and Gary Brenner go to the tail of this event. Skip Thornton, Gene Harsh second. Denny Dean and John Sedlacek, your top 4. Lou Westerkamp is 5th in car 07. White flag for Skip Thornton. Skip Thornton from New Albany, Ohio, the winner in car 86. Finishing second was Gene Harsh, third Denny Dean, and fourth John Sedlacek. So the limited Randy Sword in 73. Of course it's Randy Sword. Number 2 is Donnie Gregory. Oh boy. Here we go, back to reality. Scott Drake in 91, and 41 is Jerry Wright. Then comes 02, Charlie Osborne. 23, that's Greg Markham. I know who that is, Greg Markham. 25, Jim Kidd. 53, Russ Bob. 72 is Craig Parker. Then comes 27. 27, Mark ran the first week, county second, third feature, wrecked a couple people on company. 27, Jerry Buck. Car number 6 is Dave Stacy. Car 07, Ron Reese. Number 3 is Mike Brown, and car number 1, Gary Ferguson. Bob and Jerry Buck, both drivers out of the cars. Joe Hill and Ken Sword go at it for that top spot. Joe Hill. Ken Sword is second. Mike Rush third. Sword second, now Mike Rush third, but here comes the big bird, Robbie Dean on the outside in car number 11. Moves up to 6th spot in car 2. Complete this time. number 3 with a spin down in turn number 4. Complete. 21 remain. Robbie Dean immediately the outside of Mike Rush. Dean up to third. Still Joe Hill out front, Ken Swart second. This time. Now Joe Hill slows in car 70. Ken Swart. Second is Robbie Dean. Swart is winless in competition this year. Robbie Dean second. Mike Rush is third. To go. Parker in 72 stops on the backstretch. Back to the previous completed lap. The Big Bird in 11. challenging for the lead. It's Ken Swart on the inside, Robbie Dean on the outside. Ken Swart out front. Again, Robbie Dean challenges in 11. Laps to go. Ken Swart drives his heart out in that orange 74 car. Robbie Dean trying his best on the outside. Mike Rush runs third in car 98. Fourth is Bob Justice. Dean with an advantage down the backstretch. And a yellow flag. Slow in car number 9, off the pace, your winner, Robbie Dean. Finishing second is Ken Swart, third is 98 Mike Rush. Now I have to wait for the official finishing order. So his fourth feature win of the year in the limited sportsman division. Again, a brief intermission, so make it a quick one. We'll be ready to go here very quickly. Car sponsored by Jim's Body Shop and Towing. Robbie's, let's see, fourth feature win of 1992. The Ches Round Oldsmobile pace car pulls off the track on the backstretch. We've got 30 laps of racing to go. Out front in 26. Lonnie Rush in 83 is second. A good race for second between Dunleavy, Dick Dunleavy Jr. and Lonnie Rush. Bill Cantley, your leader, in 26. Be here no later than 6 o'clock. We are going to start. Rush, your top three. Cantley out front. Lonnie Rush trying to get around Dick Dunleavy for second spot. Mike Ward is fourth in car 61. John Vallow is third, Dunleavy second, Bill Cantley still the leader. Complete, 10 laps down. And John Vallow is second. For the lead, it's Cantley on the inside, Vallow on the outside. They'll be halfway this time. And the new leader is John Vallow. John Vallow, Bill Cantley, Dick Dunleavy Jr., and Lonnie Rush, your top four. Ward now on the outside of Lonnie Rush. Ten laps laps to go. To go. This time, John Vallow, Bill Cantley, Dick Dunleavy, Mike Ward, and Lonnie Rush, your top 5 cars. Cantley has not given up. He's keeping Vallow within shooting distance. Cantley closing on Vallow. White flag. White flag. Vallow slowing Cantley right on his back bumper. The inside of Vallow in turn 2. He'll try on turn 4 again, but it'll be John Vallow, your winner. Bill Cantley finishes second. His 4th feature win of 1992, John Vallow. Winner, John Vallow. Finishing second was Bill Cantley. Coming home 3rd in car number 5, Dick Dunleavy Jr. 7th was, or make that 4th, Mike Ward. 5th was Lonnie Rush. Outside in car number 11, a substitute car. That's Jerry Pennington in 11. Inside of row number 2, in car number 29, it's Vern Schrock. And outside of Schrock in car number 2, one of the, probably undoubtedly one of the most winningest drivers in Speedway history, Don Gregory Sr. in car number 2. Inside of row number 3, in car number 12 is Carl Smith. And starting on the tail in car number 73, the winner of a Legends race last week at Flat Rock Speedway, Marvin Smith. So those are your 6 drivers in the Race of Legends. these guys out. Almost have, Marvin Smith inside of Don Gregory Sr. in turn 1. Here leader in 74 is Larry Pendleton. Second in 29 is Vern Schrock. Marvin Smith in 73 moving on the outside of car number 12. 12 is Carl Smith. Oh. Larry Pendleton in 74.
We need to know what we need to do. Let me tell you, there's 120 people with him in the pits tonight. Somebody's falling in. I bet he's hurt. Top came right off that car.
So, apparently, Pendleton.
Yeah, I heard you. He's calling.
Is going to. We're going to have to have a squad in for Larry Pendleton.
Yeah, you're right on the money. And they run about
racing. 1 lap complete. The leader is Vern Schrock. Carl Smith second. Marvin Smith third. And Don Gregory is fourth. Now Marvin Smith moves outside of Vern Schrock. And the new leader, Marvin Smith. Vern Schrock in 29, Carl Smith in 12. Marvin Smith checks out in 73. Don Gregory now trying to move inside of Carl Smith. Gregory now third. And now Don Gregory underneath Vern Schrock. Gregory up to second. He's got a long way to go to catch Marvin Smith. Carl Smith trying everything he can think of to get around Vern Schrock for that third spot. White flag this time. And the winner of the Race of Legends, Marvin Smith. Second will be Don Gregory. Third goes to Vern Schrock, and finishing fourth, Carl Smith.
So what did you...
Car sponsored by Universal Drywall. Marvin won the Race of Legends, the ARCA Race of Legends last week at Flat Rock Speedway.
Yeah, I'll find out the owner's different. Yeah, we can.
Five is Dick Dunleavy Jr. 26, Bill Cantley. 21 is John Vallow. 86, Skip Thornton. Then comes number 2, Robbie Dean. 51, Bobby Fye. 04, Gene Harsh. 98, Mike Rush. 63, John Hellman. 41, John Sedlacek. 12, Denny Dean. 7 is Bobby Edwards. 47, Larry Harris. 39, Randy Maynard Jr. 07, Lou Westerkamp. And 28, Gary Brenner. The leader is Donnie Renner in 92. 30 laps to go. over Lonnie Rush. Still Burgess White holds on to that third place. Complete, 10 laps down. Up to third place. Mike Ward in 61 is third. Burgess White. John Vallow back out in 21. He is on the lead lap. The leader, John Vallow, at the tail of the lead lap. Ten laps to go. Is second in car 83. Your leader is still Donnie Renner. Now Mike Ward racing Lonnie Rush for second spot. A good battle for second. Ward now second in car 61. third spot. Eves on the outside of Lonnie Rush for third. White flag this time for Donnie Ritter in car 92. And the winner of the second 30-lapper, Donnie Ritter. Second will be Mike Ward. Third is Lonnie Rush. I have to wait to get you the rest of the finishing order from that feature. Hospital. Larry Pendleton has a broken collarbone, two broken ribs. All vital signs are A-OK, and it was just the broken collarbone and broken ribs, so that's good news from Larry Pendleton from the hospital. So that's excellent news, and we're assuming that Larry Pendleton will have a full recovery, complete recovery, and that's good news. So Donnie Ritter wins this 30-lapper. Again, if you're leaving the Speedway now, keep in mind next Saturday night is Kids Night. Rides in race cars for all the youngsters. The kids need to be here by 6 o'clock, 6 p.m. in order to assure themselves of a ride in the race car, in a race car. Also, there'll be some goodies for all the kids, and we'll also have twin 30-lap late model features. There. Then comes Steve Tuttle and Bill Wellman. Next we've got Jamie Hunt and Mike Taylor. Then comes Bill Hundley and Dave Dysinger. Ron Mangus and then Don Townsend Jr. Then we've got Dale Brown and Mike Hamilton.
Yeah, there are people back there that are in here.
Next up, it's Heavy Hill, Tim Rowenbeck, Donald Parsons III, and Tom Idle. Then comes Butch McAllister, Joe DeFelice, Paul Baker Jr., and Bo Davis. Fred Hartzell. Second is Bubba Parsons. Herb Pennington is third. By the way, as the scoreboard tells you, this is a 25-lap event. 3 laps out of the 25 now complete. Car 28, Fred Hartzell. Second is Bubba Parsons in 25. Herb Pennington is third in car 89. Car 30, Bill Hunley, disqualified for hitting the 41 car over there and spinning him out. So Hunley out for rough driving. So again, the leader is Fred Hartzell in 28. Second, Bubba Parsons. Third is Don Townsend Jr. The 28 car is first. Second is the 25 car. 77, Don Townsend Jr. is third. Joe DeFelice in 44 is fourth, but now DeFelice moves underneath Townsend. Halfway through this 25 lapper. Joe DeFelice moves around Bubba Parsons to take that second spot. Still Fred Hartzell, your leader, in 28. Oh, how did they miss him? Goodness. Don Townsend Jr. spun over on the backstretch. Everybody missed him. Is third. 70 Heavy Hill is fourth. Heavy Hill tries to move underneath Bubba Parsons for that second spot. Heavy Hill is second in car 70. 5 laps to go. DeFelice out front. Heavy Hill and Mike Hamilton. A good battle for second spot. Donald Parsons also in there. The scoreboard is incorrect. The scoreboard is off.
White this time.
White flag this time. White flag for Joe DeFelice. Your winner in car 44, Joe DeFelice. A close race for second. Finishing second will be 70, Heavy Hill. Third, I better wait until I get the official finish on the rest of the rundown. But your leader is, or your winner, Joe DeFelice here on Cotman Transmission, Central Ohio Engines Night. Also help from AC Delco and Gatorade this evening.
4, 27, 7, 12, 35, 7,
Full night of racing. Again, we do apologize for the lateness, but 17 races all told this evening. Your feature winners, John Vallow in the late model division. Donnie Renner, the other late model feature winner. Robbie Dean, the limited sportsman feature winner. So that's coming up next Saturday night. Once again, the report from the hospital on Larry Pendleton's condition: broken collarbone, a broken rib, and seems he is conscious. Was talking to the rescuers before he left, so everything seems to things sound good anyway for Larry Pendleton. We wish him a speedy recovery. Special thanks to a special fan.